So, about the only thing I know about this game, other than that it's a really good puzzle game that apparently does some unique shit. Ooh, I'm liking this atmosphere. Is that it's apparently a mobile port, and getting right into things, I can see why. If we look at the graphical options, you only have one, full screen or not. And if you turn it not full screen, it just turns into a full-size window that you have no way to resize, other than to click and drag, which is so imprecise, like, you can't get it at an exact, say, 1280 by 720 or whatever resolution you want, and that's just really bothersome to me. So I'm playing it in full screen, and because I have a single monitor setup, that means I won't be looking at the chat so much. So be aware. I'll be alt-tabbing to it occasionally, but for the most part, this is something I'll be, just experiencing by myself, which is kind of the point. A game by Jason Roberts, sound design by Eduardo Ortiz Frau, and music by Joel Korlitz. Alright. So this is a pretty interesting cold open. We just start with a little picture here. I guess I'll see how I can interact with it. Well, that's certainly a thing. With the whole strange visual design, I'm reminded of an old Windows 3.1 game called Eastern Mind, The Island of Tong No. Very much worth looking up that. And if you're willing to go through the pain of emulating Windows 3.1, running yourself so you can play it, it's an interesting game. So let's see. Let's try clicking on this. Oh, that didn't do anything. So it looks like the only thing I can actually directly interact with is this minus button here to zoom out. Yeah, you and me both, buddy. I have no idea what's going on. Hat, skeleton, fish. Searching through the encyclopedia. Oh, hold on, that one was pretty close. Looked kind of like that seaweed stuff. I guess this is what it is. So, dragon being offered multicolored fruit by two dudes. Looks to be instructions that I can't read. Can't tell if those are actual characters from an actual language or if it's like a fake made-up one that's just a cipher. It's really hard to make out the characters at all because of how blurry they are. Okay. Again, I'm just kind of randomly clicking on shit and seeing what happens. But I guess that's what it wants me to do. Can't do much more here. But the child has an idea. Well, at least one of us does. Okay, and that's one panel of the comic done with. Oh, okay. So I now have two screens I can interact with at the same time. The game's evolving in complexity. I can zoom out, see the rest of the boys' home. Let's check out the cityscape a bit more, see if there's anything else I can interact with. Alright, so this one I can actually... Oh! And I now have another screen available. Okay. How does... So I can overlay them on top of each other, right? Well, not indefinitely, but to an extent at least. If it would make sense for them to be overlaid. That's probably something I'll need to keep in mind. There doesn't seem to be too much else I can do with this screen. So let's back out. Person in a wheelchair with a crow friend. Say hi. Hello, corvid friend. We'll be the best of buds. Alright, looks like the only thing I can do around here is move it, so what if I put the window panel in front? Does that do anything? No, it just swaps their positions. Still in the stage where I'm figuring out exactly what the fuck it is I'm supposed to be doing, because I have no idea. Well, there doesn't seem to be much else I can do with the other panels, so let's continue to explore the boys' home. Looking for them fruits to offer to the dragon. Well, got a bowl. That's step one. And once again, I'm at an impasse. But if I understand, I think what the game's pointing me towards. Yep. So is he, like, used to this stuff? Is this just the way that his world works? Or is he, like, internally freaking out? So now that he's on this panel, I guess I can shift them back around. Alright, I'm gonna have to find that fire fruit somewhere. Let's see if I can't search around his house. Oh, I think I might have found it. Apple looks dandy. Oh wow, and that's pretty nice. So it's presumably a different scene of a tree, but it connects perfectly fluidly with this other scene of a tree with the crow on it. So what else can I do here? Because overlaying them isn't going to do anything, that seems obvious. But I need to get the apples somehow. Maybe I can make it fall into the basket? Exactly. Okay, so I get how this game wants me to do things now. It's shifting the order of these panes of imagery in order to cause certain events to happen, and that's the first fruit. Since I got my first Chivo, I'm just gonna see if anyone's in chat. Nope, okay. Lonely existence as usual. So, yeah, I guess the way to approach this game is just to do whatever interactions you can until you can't do anything more, and then just try sliding panes on top of each other to accomplish something. Which is an interesting game mechanic. I can definitely see why this was a mobile game at first. Alright. So this person wishes that they could walk again, I guess. Well, at least that's what they're thinking about. Oh, no, did they see the boy? They might have seen the boy. Because, yeah, carrying the bowl there. Alright, well, let's try zooming out on this one. Now I gotta find the green fruit. Well, let's continue looking around the house. This painting looks interesting. So, barren wasteland. Then a door appears filled with life. And a divine goddess offers the green fruit. So that's clearly giving me the instructions that I need to do. So I'm gonna have to find... Actually, could I just, like, do it like this? No? I thought the goddess might have been positioned perfectly for that, but I guess not. Alright then, let's zoom out. We also have... Oh, okay, so in case you don't figure it out like I did by just messing around, this also gives you the solution for the first fruit. I wonder if I could have done these out of order. Oh, and that's a nice... So I noticed this earlier, but I wasn't sure what caused it. So if you just click randomly on the screen, it actually shows you what you can interact with. That's good. So less guesswork. We have a bureau, a lantern, and a drawer. I don't think I can interact with the drawer, though. Yeah, just these two. Not much I can do with the lantern at the moment. Let's see what's in the bureau. So, more instructions. I need a star to light the lantern. Could I just, like, take one from here? No? Okay. What about on this screen, then? Well, we have another doorway here, so that's clearly important. I'm gonna have to line up something, that much is obvious, but I'm just not sure what. It's not this one, is it? No. Yeah, again, that wouldn't work. It seems like this involves the green fruit, though, given that faded green color I can see here. I'm assuming that's green. And also, yeah, there's even the doorway that's shown in this image. Oh, that's actually exactly where the person is. Okay, so I'm gonna have to get someone over here. Presumably the boy. The issue is that he exists on the same panel But I can solve that. So let's, well, at least I thought I could solve that. I was gonna move this back so I could have him re-enter his house, but that doesn't seem to be an option I can do. Anymore, at least. So yeah, I can't go back to the previous bit. Ah, here we go, okay. So let's see. Line it up like so. Bingo! I should have known from the hint. Alright, and then... now what? There we go. Continues on the journey. Alright, let's bring up the instructions, just in case I need a refresher on what it is I'm supposed to do. So this way is the magical doorway. Actually, no, this is the doorway, so somehow I have to get that to appear. Yeah, this right here. Ah, the boy is so despondent. So what did this dude do? It looks like it just suddenly appeared out of nowhere. So I'm gonna have to do some sort of manipulation, I guess. Perhaps I need that lantern? But it's not lit, so it's not likely to serve much use. Oh, I can actually look through the lantern. Okay, that gives me an idea, potentially. So, like this? No, okay. Yeah, it showed on the picture here on the bureau I need to pluck a star. So where is there a star shape in one of these other panels? Maybe like this? No, again, I'm just kind of brute forcing things a little, just trying to click and drag, rather than giving any actual thought. So there's a doorway here. How can I utilize that to my advantage? Oh! That's how. I didn't realize that was another new panel. Okay. That opens up my options considerably. So... oh, I guess I just solve it like this. This is such a cool, like, design concept of just dragging things from panel to panel. I wish more games used a visual style like this. The only thing I can think of that's even remotely similar is the game Comic Zone on the Genesis, which is more of an action platformer brawler sort of thing than a puzzle game. Well, she's offering the fruit, but that's just a carving. We gotta find the actual one somehow. I mean, that is the fruit, yes, but it doesn't look like I can take it at the moment. So what else can I be doing here? Still got that lantern there I haven't been able to do anything with just yet. That is quite suspicious. Can't zoom out here either, so that can't be it. This just seems to be the solution to the previous puzzle, so that's not going to help me too much. And dragging here wouldn't really do anything. I guess I can try it just to be safe. Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. Can I drag it like this? No, it's not quite aligned properly. But yeah, the space of... oh, that's what I need to be doing. Okay. I gotta remember that just a lot of times I can end up dragging a new panel into existence and that massively opens up my options. Oh, well that's not a great scene. I guess this is what happens if the dragon isn't appeased. It's the bad end. Hopefully I can avoid having that happen. So what else can I interact with on this screen? Oh, that looks mightily important. I think that might be the star that I was searching for. Oh, no. I guess not. Apple then? That doesn't work either, huh? Ah, maybe I need it to be zoomed in further. Or zoomed in even... Oh, wow. Now we're in the eye of the dragon, I think, is what's going on here. Hope he doesn't mind us taking his star. Yeah, I think he minds. Okay. Whoa, okay, so I can drag it. Ooh, okay, this is a new mechanic. So this is a panel... That's actually really cool. So this is a panel that's larger than any of the individual ones, so depending on where I drag this panel, I see a different part of the dragon. So let's search around for something I can actually make use of. Because let's look back out at the instructions. So it's clearly showing this sort of star shape, this four-pronged star. So presumably I need to find that within the dragon. That seems reasonable enough. But unless this is just a game of, Fuck, what was that old series of books called that were like illustrations where it was all about finding certain objects? Not Where's Waldo, if you're thinking of that. It was like a specific series that like you'd see in libraries a bunch, at least here in the US. Fuck, I can't remember the name, but it reminds me a hell of a lot of that, what I'm doing now. So let's see. I'm going to need to drag either this panel or this panel when I'm zoomed into the lantern somewhere onto the dragon. That seems fairly obvious. The game so far has been a stickler about oh! Okay, that's it. And there's the green fruit. Second fruit. So yeah, this game is as short as I heard it was. Because I think playtime completion is like 2 hours, roughly, so... already a good way through. Oh! Now he's searching for the yellow fruit, which this helpful gentleman is pointing out. Thank you, plant friend. Oh god, the bad feature again, I don't like this. It's not scary, but it's ominous in a way that's kind of existentially frightening. So it's like what's going on here is this is the boy's future self who's trying to like send thoughts back in time so he knows what to do to save the world. Because that seems to be what's going on here. Oh, things went dark. I guess I know now who needs the lantern. Let's see if I can't get it active though. No dragging available, it seems. What about this panel? Ah, there's the star I was searching for. Bingo. Oh, and now I can see in here. I guess that's what the lantern did. I can't give that to this boy, can I? No, no dragging at the moment. Well, let's investigate this then. Going deeper and deeper. Yeah, I'll get you a lantern, buddy, as soon as I can figure out how. So, this is what he's thinking about. How do I get it to him? And then we have the stars off in the distance. No panel dragging I can do, right? I don't think so. Nothing I can interact with when I'm zoomed in there, but obviously this seems to be like the same shelf, or at least a very similar one. Ah, here's the thing I can drag. Okay, that works. So I guess... So this is his lantern. Can I, like, exchange light sources, or get this powered up somehow? No, that doesn't seem to be what I want to do. Okay. Yeah, nothing much I can do with this panel other than zooming in, which doesn't seem to be helping me. Oh, there we go. Okay. See, I thought I would be able to combine the two shelves, but I wasn't exactly sure how, and I guess that's how. Hold on a moment. Sorry about that. Let's continue. So, more dragging around. So, if I understand things correctly, I think the lantern should now be in his area? No, not quite. So maybe I didn't do things correctly. Hope I didn't lock myself into a game over situation. Nah, that rarely exists in these sorts of puzzle games. So this is still the only thing I can interact with. So I clearly need to shift things so the lantern falls on his side. I think that's what it's hinting at me to do. Question is, how do I do that? Can I, like, remove them in any way, or does the order of the panels matter? That doesn't seem to be helping much. Oh wait, I can click on the bag of screws. I tried doing that before, but it didn't really work. Must not have clicked the right location. Alright, well, I am screwed, haha. What do I do with it, though? Ah, that's what I do. I can't tell if there's, like, any visual indication of when I can pull an extra panel off of a pre-existing one. I guess you just have to try it every time you get to a new one. Oh, and now I'm in a new location. Got some fuzz. Ah, I see. So I changed it from a bag of nails into a bag of flour. And so... Oh. See, I figured that would make the crayons outweigh this bag, and thus shift it this way, but clearly that's not all I need to do. So let's try and do the same thing with the right side, but in reverse, make it lighter. And for that, I'm gonna need... Actually, wait a minute. Yep, okay. So now I have both of these things separate. And an entire other panel to investigate with. Okay, so we got meteoroids, stardust, I guess. And then here we have the screws in the flour. So I wish I remembered which side was which. I guess I just want to get it tilted the opposite way. So this is what I'm going to want to be light. This is what I'm going to want to be heavy. So I guess... Or was it the other way around? I'm really bad at visually orienting things, I'll have you know. So let's zoom out just so I can reframe that in my mind. Is what I wanted to do, but I guess it's no longer going to give me the option. I guess I gotta figure it out now that I'm here. Fair enough. I can just, randomly mix and match until I get something that works. Oh, actually, I don't need to do it randomly per se, because it does actually kind of show it here. So I think the crayons, I want it to be the lighter side, right? That's what I said. So let's go with the stardust, or whatever the hell this is. That seems like it would be the lightest to me. And that's clearly not the answer since it's not clicking, so let's go over to the flower. Okay, let's see if this worked out. Okay, no, that's right. This was the side I needed to get heavier, so this one is correct. That flower's good. So let's zoom back in, scroll out, go to the heaviest object. There we go. And now it should work. You do have to wonder if he's wondering where a bag of meteorites suddenly came from. I guess it depends on whether these changes are occurring after the fact, or if it's like, this was how it always was, now that I've made those changes. Hey buddy, yeah, got your lantern here. Well, in fairness, I guess it's not lit up, so the puzzle is not quite solved as of yet. Was there something I needed to do with this first while it was on this side? Maybe. Okay, I think I might actually need to get it over to this side, lit up somehow, and then send it back over. I, rushed what I needed to do. My bad. So let's set things back to the previous state. Bingo. Okay, so what can I do with this light source on this screen? Like, obviously, it's something to do with this star here. Like, maybe I can reflect light somehow, but I can't actually interact with it. And yeah, once again, the only things I can interact with are this here and then the stuff on the shelf. Check back on this screen just to make sure I'm not forgetting anything, and I'm not. Ah, I noticed the shape emanating from this star now. Awfully similar to another shape. Oh, I thought this was going to be a drag thing, but I guess not quite. And if I drag this panel out, I no longer then have the ability to zoom out. Oh, that's right, I had forgotten that the head of the lantern was an empty space, so clearly that's important. Can I, like, drag it on here to do something? Maybe when it's zoomed out? No, that doesn't quite seem to be doing what I need. Oh, wait, I have an idea now. Okay. I think I know what I need to do. So let's zoom in, get the shelf tilted once more. So that the lantern thing, the light source, tilts to the right. And now that the lantern is on the other side, now I can actually make good use of the fact that, once again, it's an empty space. By zooming out, like so. And bingo. Okay. Took me longer than it probably should have to have figured that out, but I got it. You got light now, buddy. Congrats. You're no longer wallowing away in a filthy dark hole. Now it's a filthy light hole. Got a moth with a rather fancy pattern, psychedelic. I'd call shenanigans, but there were some pretty crazy patterns on moths in real life, so... I'm guessing, yep, more dragon. Drag in, not drag on. More dragon would not be good considering this one seems to have destroyed the world. Hopefully I can get that appeasement to work. Oh, hello, Taya for Hire. I'm only checking the chat occasionally because I'm playing this game in full screen because of technical issues with it. So don't be surprised if I don't react to what you say, quickly. So let's see. Now that I have these as separate panels, let's see what I can do. Back to research in here. Yes, this clearly is the boy's future self in the bad future. Going back, remembering. Okay, well, that worked. Zoom out again since it seems I'm gonna need use of more of these panels. Thinking about what he could have done. Got the Pegasus constellation. Yeah, and here we have another person. Also doing research. So maybe that's not the boy in the future. I'm just kind of guessing as to that. I get the feeling the game won't ever actually give me an explicit answer. Given just how trippy all the visuals are. Not really the visuals, but just the way everything's organized and how the way that you're influencing... Excuse me. The way that you're influencing the world by, like, moving things around and connecting one separate space to another. That's the trippy part. Hold on, I want to zoom out just to see what I can click on. Okay, this is the only thing. So I've got a moth. And that's it, but I get the feeling, yep, that's another panel, so I'm gonna have to drag this somewhere. That's not gonna help me. Maybe I can make... Hey, here we go, used to the shelf again. Oh no, poor Pottery. Hope he's got insurance on that. So, do I once again want to shift what's in the bag? It doesn't look like I have the ability to do that. Maybe, no, that's not gonna work. What else can I do here? I can shift the pane to the left and to the right now, okay? More functionality. Ah, here we go. Here's a Pegasus and an Angel. This is clearly important. Seeing if zooming out helps at all. I'm not sure if it does. Let me just confirm once more what I can actually drag to act as like an overlay on it. Oh, there we go. Dong. Right, I have to remember to look out for this shit more. How things connect visually if I line them up just right. That's something I haven't been paying too much mind to. Okay, so the coal falls down and then just kind of into the abyss. Clearly, I need to get it to fall somewhere else. Seems to be how it's going. Yeah, now they're separate once more. What else can I zoom in on? So we got the blue border stripe thing here, and then a red one. I'm looking to see if that's anywhere else in the environment, and it is. Bingo. See, now that I know to explicitly look out for that, it's much easier to see. So how does this help me, if at all? I don't think it does at the moment. I clearly need something to happen in one of these panels to influence the other, but I'm not exactly sure what. So I know how this screen connects with other things, but looks like... Okay. That's why it moves as slowly as it does. This is a bit of a timing puzzle, which... If you've heard my opinions on timing puzzles in games, you know I'm not a fan of, but... That's fine. This one seems lazy enough that it shouldn't be so bad. So we have to start with the rock falling. So let's get that zoomed in and get this zoomed out. And then once this is falling, quickly go back, like so. And I think that's the last thing I need to do. Maybe I need to do more dragging though, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think I needed to do one more drag click, that's why it was going so slow. Okay, that's my bad, fair enough. Let's try that again. And hopefully this is the last step. Yeah, this cracked glass here, that's obviously to free the moth or butterfly, whichever one it is. You're free now, friend. No longer captured to your cold, cruel cage of glass. Hey, at least this dude was kind enough to keep it alive rather than pinning it to a friggin' cardboard. Ugh, that is like, seriously such a needlessly cruel way of collecting something. So now that the moth is free, I'm not sure what it is that I want to do. So I can still do manipulation of panels. I'm thinking maybe I might need to get the moth somewhere else. Oh, okay, I just needed to zoom out, there we go. Sometimes just clicking around a bunch and seeing what you now have access to is the, solution. So I still have the boy over here. Can I connect this panel with another? I don't think so. Because I'm seeing the yellow thing here, but I don't think that's gonna work out. I'm thinking of somehow maybe getting these side by side. Let's actually zoom back in over here just because there's the some visual parallels. Well, maybe not. Maybe I'm just crazy. Yeah, I gotta get that moth to do something, obviously. I'm just not sure what. There is that shadow over here that seems like it might be something, but I think that's just a cast visual. It's not actually important at this point. Oh yes, I still have, No, wait, I don't. I thought I had this to act as a draggable thing that I could overlay on something else, but I forgot that that's no longer the case. In fact, this screen seems like it's no longer important at all, just because the rock is no longer falling. Alright. So we got the busted horse statue here. That seems like it's not a good thing. Can I fix it somehow? If I could zoom in on it, maybe, but that's not an action I can do. And of course, as always, we got the boy over here. Yeah, just given the way he's facing, I feel like I have to connect this with another panel. But I'm not sure which one that is. I might not even have access to it at the moment. I might need to figure out how to get access to that theoretical panel first. Ah, okay, here we go. I never tried zooming in on here all the way. This is probably what I... Yup, bingo. Okay, now I'm looking. So we have a moon here, that clearly seems important, as well as a shining star. So how can I make use of that? Can I, by any chance, like, change the time of night? Is that a thing I can possibly do? Like, drag the moon over here somehow? Maybe not. Well, the star is glowing. Oh, you know what? What do moths like but sources of light? Question is, how do I get the source of light to shine over? Ah, perhaps that's not what I need to do. I need to change the phase here. Then zoom out. I guess I was correct with the star then? Okay, I thought I might have needed to have gone to the moon, but this seems to be working. So does this influence this person in any way? Hasn't changed the thoughts, it looks like. Of course, we have a source of light over here. I'm thinking now that I need to somehow get the moth attracted over to one of these various light sources. Oh! Okay, this one is draggable. Okay, now I know what I need to do then. Bingo. To be honest, I'm not quite sure why I did that, but that's not bad from a design standpoint. This game is very trippy and it's very much to just try out and see. And like the hint that you need to do that is just the general understanding that, oh, insects, moths especially, are attracted to light. I guess if you didn't know that, if you lived in a region of the world where you wouldn't run into that commonality, maybe you'd be having trouble then. And that's kind of the issue with these sorts of intuitive understandings to figure out how to solve puzzles, but that's just kind of a flaw with the genre in general. You're kind of assuming that your player is operating from the same general knowledge base as you are. See how, once again, I'm still not sure what manipulating the moth actually did, so I'm just clicking around now, seeing if anything changed. Nothing seems to have changed over here. Yep, still got that moth over there. Ah, zooming in, of course. Why didn't I think to try that? And now I have a new panel to play around with. Sorry for taking a bit of your body, moth. I hope you'll forgive me. So, can I connect these two? I think I might be able to. Maybe this way. Yep, see, I knew that I was going to connect that screen with some other one because of this gradient here, the fact that it went from full of life to lifeless. But the thing that I was missing was figuring out how to get that other panel to appear, which I just did now. Alright, moving onward. Still thinking of that big D. No, not that D, you filthy pervert. The dragon. No, not that dragon, you filthy pervert. The dragon that's killing the city. So let's see, I got the green and the red fruits, and now I'm searching for the yellow one. Only 2 more to go after that. Oh, and here we are with this person again, and their kind of ruffled hair. Isn't that basically the same person that was over here, or... Oh, they left. God, this game is so fucking trippy. Alright, so I got a... I'm not sure what this is. Some sort of, chemistry apparatus, it looks like. It's pretty much only chemistry stuff that has these crazy tubes. That and silly straws. I guess I'll keep zoomed in on this since it seems like it might be important. Ah, yes, I can drag it, okay. I figured that was the case. I'm gonna have to drag it somewhere in specific. Oh, and there's another one. Okay, well I think I have an idea of where I'm supposed to drag this stuff. I don't need chemistry apparatus, I need a timekeeping apparatus, I think is how this is going to go. So let's, zoom in on that. Bingo, I think. I don't know if that was actually what I needed to do. And yeah, now I'm in another place entirely. Just the sudden shifts of when you make a change going to a completely different scene in the same panel as you were previously, it's very jarring. But not in a bad way. It kind of makes me think about how, like, you know, we generally view things as happening sequentially. But the way that this game is handling things is as kind of like, a discrete series of events. Like, it's the difference between, say, video and a series of photographs. With a series of photographs, like what you have here, a series of pictures, you have a series of discrete events. And while you assume that if you have a series of consecutive photographs, you're assuming that things are moving smoothly between them, you don't actually know that that's the case. It's just something you assume. They could easily be just separate, distinct moments in time. And I'm doing a bad job of actually explaining my thoughts, but I can definitely tell the game is kind of going for something along with that, about the perception of time, of, like, fluid animation, fluid movement versus still photos, and working that into its game design. Someone more learned than me could probably make a video on that. Probably already have. I've seen a few videos pop up in my, like, YouTube feed and Twitter feed discussing the game, and I'd imagine they probably go into that in a more concise manner. Anyway, so 3 things to interact with here, 2 things to interact with here, and I can zoom out here. Going to sleep? Well, that's fine. You can't do research all night. You gotta rest your eyes sometime. I thought I was close to the yellow fruit, but nope. Still got a ways to go, it looks like, and so many things I can interact with. Yeah, now is when I'm going to have to put my brain to use. Previously, if I was stuck, I could just kind of brute force things a little, because there were limited options. Now, things are complex enough that I actually need to think about what I want to do. So let's just take stock of everything that exists, and I'll try and remember it all. So here we have it. Oh, that's interesting. So the compass seems to be pointed to this, not this panel, but this place in particular, because it's magnetic north. That's why. Okay, so that's clearly important. Alright, we also have the moth once more, this time hovering around what is basically a model of the moon. That's also probably important, especially since it's draggable. Alright, well, let's zoom out of this then. In addition to that, I'm trying to find, there we go. We have the fireplace over here, which has a pot boiling on it. Clearly, I'm going to need to do something with the fire. Maybe one of those panel transitions to heat something up, perhaps? Let's zoom out once more. Nope, don't want to go back in there. Not just yet. Okay, so then I can check further in on the bookshelf area, which doesn't seem to be doing anything right at the moment. So I'll not ignore that, but just put it on the bottom of my consideration list. And then back here we have the boy in this ruined area. So this is where things are gonna come together, and I'm gonna get him the yellow fruit, I think. So I also probably have to not worry about this until later. So let's center back on the globe and the fireplace area, since that seems to be the most important. And then check out another panel. So here we have... Yep, okay, so this is the actual game-provided hint as to how you figure out how the compass interacts with the magnetic north, with the star. I figured it out on my own, as I've done a lot of things in this, but it is good that the game actually does give you direct hints. So I'm assuming that's all the reason for that existing, so I'm going to ignore that from henceforth. And once more we have this clock right here, which is not draggable, as well as the compass, which is also not draggable. Alright, let's check out this panel in more detail then. I haven't checked out this laptop case. I guess it's a briefcase. Looks kind of like one of those laptop briefcase dealios, but it's clearly not. And I can still zoom in on the clock, which is draggable, and that's going to be important. I can tell you that. So I think the idea is I can probably manipulate time to an extent. Let's check back in on here, though. It probably gives me a hint. So at 6:24-ish, it turns nighttime. I think that this is what this is saying. So how do I get this to turn? Clearly I need to get this in the red position, and then this one in the blue position. That seems fairly obvious. So this is a temperature gauge. So to get it in that position, I would want to heat it up, and that's what the fire's for. Yep. See, I like how I'm pulling things together. This game is so well designed. I'm loving these puzzles. Hopefully it doesn't fade once I take it off there. Good, it is fixed in place. This one isn't a timing puzzle. Oh, fuck no, it is a timing puzzle. Screw you, game. Okay, I'm gonna have to do things quickly. Let's get the blue one in position first then, since that's going to be a lot easier to do. So it looks like I just want to point it like that, and then zoom out so it's fixed in place. And then let's get this one set up now that I no longer need to do that. There we go, get the red needle in its proper position. And I guess I want to zoom in here and then drag it on each of these panels so it gets to the proper time. That's one, and then... Doesn't want me to drag it like that. Maybe I need the red one in position first. Or like this? There we go, okay. It was just figuring out the correct order in which to drag it. Which was a little bit of guesswork, but that's not a bad thing. And then let's get that actually set as the time, and booyah, it's night. So, star bright, what do you have for me on this night? Zoom out then. So, if I zoom in on this, it's positioned roughly the same. And this is a draggable. There we go. So that's how I get the light in here to get the moth to move onward. So the moth does seem to be a sign of progress. Probably some moth symbolism going on there that I don't quite understand at the moment. Alright, and there's the yellow fruit once more. Ooh, things got kind of ominous all of a sudden. Okay, this looks like to be another weight balancing sort of thing. So do I have anything that I could drag to weigh this down? Or maybe I'm barking up the wrong tree. Ah, okay, I think I just need to connect these two to get the boy over. Yep. This is the way towards the yellow fruit. Yeah, it's not a weight thing, it's just pointing him towards the direction of the yellow fruit. Which would be right here if the tree weren't dead. Let's see if we can't fix that. How do I regrow a tree? Okay, yeah, so I keep going back and forth about whether this is the boy or not. Given he's having a dream, it clearly is. But I got the third fruit, okay. I wasn't expecting it to be that easy, I figured there'd be one last puzzle, but I'll take it. Alright, 3 down, 2 to go. We'll get that dragon's offering ready right yet. Okay, looks like things are gonna ramp up in complexity sooner than I thought. Can I drag these elsewhere? Not just yet. Probably one of them, though, I can drag as a separate panel. I get the feeling that's gonna be the case. Well, maybe not. Okay, so let's examine what's in each of these panels in particular, then. So here we have a wounded person being taken care of by 2 medical staff. Kind of wish I could zoom in to see what's on their armbands there. I can't quite make out what that's supposed to be from this distance. Maybe I'll be able to zoom in later. And then next in progression is this here. The dude's healing, walking on crutches. Got the fruit symbol there. That's probably important. And then he is the next stage in his life. I guess he was never to be without the cane, but clearly he improved enough to just need a simple walking cane rather than crutches, so that's good. And then further ahead in his life, is that the funeral, or no, because he's still alive there. I'm guessing this is him just because of the... Is that a hair or a hat? I'm guessing it's him just because that's the one that's pointed out the most. And I can also zoom in there. And then this is him at the end of his life, I guess. Okay, and it looks like I'm going to be able to zoom in further on pretty much all of these, so that's going to be fun. Stairs. Okay, that's clearly a hint. Still no panels just yet. Ah, here we go. So, dreaming of falling and then switching to dreaming of a dragon. And once again, this person at a different stage in their life. Ah, this game is so confusing at times. Alright, so let's see what I can get up to here. And of course it's draggable once more. Why not? Make things super confusing for me, why don't you, game? And here we have another one of those that depending on where you drag it, it shows a different part of its bit of the game world. So here we have a crossed out image of a dragon, a different dragon it looks like a sea dragon. Here we have another portion of the map. Here we have what looks to be the important thing, and then here we have a crossed out Pegasus sort of thing. I'm guessing those are all hints as to what I need to do. Okay, so I see what I need to do here, at least in abstract. The boy was thinking about stairs. And I gave him stairs. I am a kind, forgiving God. So clearly I need to have him move along these different panels. Oh! And things are shifting here for some reason, and here. If I have to say one thing I dislike about the way the game handles things, it's that sometimes progressing just causes other things to happen in the panels, even if they're not actually connected, but that kind of brings back the thing I was trying to elaborate on earlier, about how rather than the timeline of this game being just one flowing series of continuous events, it's just kind of fixed events at various intervals that you just kind of jump between. So it's not bad design, but it's just a bit of the design that, like, I find jarring a little bit, and that's possibly the point. I'll have to consider things like at a later time as to whether or not I think that actually works ultimately, but for now I'm willing to forgive the game. Okay, so it looks like, am I going to be able to zoom in on each of these? Oh, of course I am. Yep, the game wants to make sure you're actually thinking about how to solve this bullshit. So here we have someone with a sword crossing what looks to be mountains, or are those sand dunes? Maybe it's a desert. Probably a desert from the way they're dressed. Yeah, I guess that's one person going on a desert journey then. Letting moths to go to guide, praying beforehand, I guess. It's hard to tell what's happening here because it's flipped upside down. I can't drag any of these, can I? I should probably check that out first and foremost. No dragging it looks like, but I might want to drag something on top of it. Let's focus on what's important and zoom in on the boy, see if I can't get a hint. No hint? Well, that's fine. So, I think perhaps I need to find something else that ends up matching up with this bit of scenery. Some sort of bit of stonework so he can cross. And here we have something that I very much can drag. Not sure exactly what I need to drag under it, but maybe like this? Nope, not quite. Oh god, yeah, let's just keep zooming in. I am not keeping track of where all this shit is. This game, like, it started out pretty simple, but then got really complicated really quickly. That's a sign of a good puzzle game. Alright, here's the crutch person. I can't tell if that's supposed to be the same as the boy with the bowl. Ascending the stairs, presumably up to some sort of temple. Oh, hello, if you're still in the chat, Lenoib. I do not speak French. I speak only one language, English. Much to my chagrin. Really wish I had bothered to learn a language in high school. Didn't feel like it at the time, though. And now I don't have the time to do that. Alright, so it looks like this is just repeating over and over, so I'm not sure how much that helps me. God, it's kind of eerie that I can still hear the sound effects of him walking, though, even when I'm zoomed out. Alright, and here we have him walking across the desert. So does that match the pictures on these panels at all? It kind of does. But I'm not sure what I'm supposed to intuit from that. And once again, yeah, it's just doing the same thing over and over. Hold on, I can't drag this on here, can I? It looks like it might roughly fit on. Yeah, no. Alright, let's check out the next one then. Here we have Lush Forest. It's a nice change of pace from the desert, that's for sure. Setting up a candle here. And rolling a cart along. And yet, once again, it's just doing the same thing over and over and over. Alright, so I understand at least abstractly what's going on with this whole thing. Showing different actions, and I'm clearly going to have to do something with that. I just don't know what at the moment. Fortunately, that's the only thing actually going on in this panel, so otherwise I don't really need to consider it. So let's go back to what I was on about previously and trying to get this boy across somewhere. I might have to solve some other puzzle to actually do that, but I don't know that's the case. Because, like, if I drag this over here, does that help me any? No, it doesn't really line up properly. And it wouldn't work visually either. That's an important, consistent thing the game has kept, is when you combine two panels, they do have to be visually similar. Maybe I don't need to do anything just yet with the boy. This is clearly hinting at something, but I don't know what. How old am I? That's an odd question. I'm 23 if you're curious. Gosh, this part is really complicated. Okay, I gotta think about things in terms of the larger picture. No pun intended. Oh, I did not realize I could click one level further on these panels. Okay, that's probably pretty important. Not all of the panels, though, it looks like. In fact, maybe only that top one. Okay, so what can I do here now that I know that? How does that help me? Does it connect to this at all? No, but there is a panel here. Okay, that's clearly going to be important somehow. I need to drag this somewhere. Oh, god damn it, and there's more than one book I can zoom in on. Alright, well, let's check out the other books then. So this one isn't draggable, at least in an overlay way. I can't tell if these are hints or puzzle pieces. We have a bell symbol and an eye symbol there that's clearly probably meant to hint at something. And yeah, this is also a draggable piece. Okay, well, now here I'm stuck on these pictures, so no zooming out further from here at least, reducing some of the complexity. Okay, so clearly the steps of these journeys are quite important. Here we end up zooming in with that circle shape, but it doesn't actually line up properly with this. Or that, for that matter. Try looking back at the other panels, maybe I missed something there. Here was where he was climbing up that mountain. I'm trying to think. There isn't a temple I've seen anywhere else, is there? Like something that would match up and actually get him to a destination, or... I don't think so. And then the other one was crossing the desert, wasn't it? This one right here. Okay. So I'm gonna start my thinking... Yeah, I'm only starting to think now, by the way. With this one. Because this one is something that I can clearly match up to what's going on here. So, similar to the dude in this picture, he is ringing the bell. I don't know how that helps me, though. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. Oh, what? There's nobody else in here? Well, that's kind of what I'm used to. That's what happens when you stream before you build up any sort of audience. So what do I want to do here? I just had a thought. This whole upside down here, isn't this pretty similar to some imagery elsewhere that I've seen? I think it is, but I don't quite remember where that was, so I'm just gonna explore around and look for a match to that. It might be in the same panel, in which case there's probably not much I can do about it, but... Yeah, it definitely wasn't any of these other scenes, I know that for a fact. Maybe it was over in this panel? Maybe it's just like a sense of deja vu or something, but I swear I saw that like upside down archway sort of thing somewhere else. I guess maybe I was just thinking of here. Oh, I just realized what each of these objects are. So this one is a ladle thing, I guess. This one's a ringing bell. And this one's a candle showing each of the actions that he performed. And this, too, is also showing that, to an extent at least. Yeah, here we even have the rosary beads as well. Okay, I'm slowly starting to piece things together. No sword or bird over here to match with this panel. Okay, yeah, the upside down window thing, I was thinking of zooming further into this one. That's my bad. Alright, so... Clearly I need to drag something onto something to cause some sort of change to occur, but... I don't know what that is, and there's so many different options here that trying to brute force it will take a while. I'm worried though that I might have to resort to that. Just cause I only have a vague idea of what it is that I want to do here. I'm gonna assume that I'm okay with having this panel be up front. Oh, hold on, I just noticed a similarity in pattern. You see this right here? This is pretty similar to this over here. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like I can drag the panels together any, at least not just yet. but that might be something I can do in the future. Because yeah, that looks very suspicious. But I think I'm gonna have to do something with this panel first before that's actually an option. So I might do a little bit of brute forcing here and just try and drag it on top of anything. Just because I'm not sure what it is that it wants me to drag it on top of. Oh, hold on, what was... Hey, that's something I was missing. I didn't notice that this was draggable. Okay, that's one more added complexity. Let's try and remember that shape and see if I can't find it anywhere else in any of the panels. No, so this purple flower here, it's not quite the same symbol as these blue flowers, unfortunately. I was thinking maybe that's where I wanted to drag things, but no. Maybe, though. That doesn't quite match up with the... Yeah, no, that's not gonna work, never mind. Alright, so unfortunately my strategy of randomly dragging this panel onto all the others until something matched up, turns out that didn't work out. I mean, I haven't completed with it, but I don't think it's gonna work out in the end. Well, here we have a sun that's zoomed in. That might be important somewhere. I'll try and keep that in mind. Maybe, perhaps, I could use that with the other draggable? Hold on, how do I get out of here? There we go. I had to wait for it to complete the animation. So let's go back to the mountain scene. Oh, that's not the correct one, whoops. Oh, wait a minute, I was thinking of how to connect panels. What about if I do it like this? No, I can't do it. Hey, here we go. Okay, I'm moving, perfect. And so this is progressing time along, it looks like. Oh yeah, it's a sun, but it's also a gear. Okay. It's not doing anything at the moment, though, so presumably I have to find some other gear that would match up with it. Which is right here. Okay. I knew messing around would eventually have me finding the solution. But we're not done quite yet. It looks like I need one more gear in the fray. Oh, or maybe just doing it like this. Okay. Now this is in a different position, and maybe I can match it up. No, that still doesn't quite work. Okay. What position would I want it to be in? Basically like this, so I want to turn it, I think, once more. And I should be good. Oh no, not once more like that though. I need it on this position, I think. Let me just zoom in to make sure though that I don't have it now. Yeah, no, it's not gonna work. Alright, gonna have to wait for it to do its thing. There we go. I'm fine with waiting in this game just because of how peaceful it is. So this should be in the proper position now. Perfect. And now I know why this is draggable. This is gonna be the way forward for the boy. Which might just be right here. Yep. It took me a while, but I finally actually get to making progress here. It's satisfying, though. That's one of the things I love about puzzle games, even if there's a lot of, whoa, things are changing over here. Even if it takes a while to actually get things right, once you do, the feeling of satisfaction is like no other. Alright, well this panel has changed considerably now. So, I likely no longer need the desert stuff. Now that I no longer have a gear to turn. So let's just zoom out on both of these, so I have them at the ready. Oh, hold on, that looks kind of similar, doesn't it, pattern-wise? Not similar enough, I guess. Alright, here we have a whole bunch of stained glass panes. Let's zoom out and see where the boy's at. So, I gotta get him over here. I'm gonna need stairs of some sort going up this way, I think. So that's what I have to keep my eyes peeled out for. I mean, stairs, my obvious go-to is this panel over here, but they're not in quite the right direction. This also isn't draggable, so that really wouldn't help. This one is draggable, however. I think I might need... Let me see which one the desert one was. So the desert one was the second one in order here. That's unfortunate. I was hoping they might go in order, like you do this one, and then you do this one, and then you do that one. But it's not clear which one I need to do, so I'm just gonna have to try stuff with the mountain one, and then if that doesn't work, try stuff with the cart one. As far as getting the boy to move goes. Right now, I guess I'm just gonna look for things to drag this panel onto. Nothing over here, though, I'm afraid. So let's have a closer look at these glass panes. So... got a trumpet, I think that's what that's supposed to be, as well as carrying a torch. There's also characters in some sort of language that I don't recognize. Is that like Hebrew or something? Just going along with a lot of the religious imagery. You know, crossing the desert, etc. Here we have two people praying with candles. Here we have like a... is that like a priest sort of person holding up a light source? And then in this last one we have two more people with the blue symbol. So that one's probably going to be important at the end of things. Yeah, I don't think there's anything I can do with the mountain just yet, unfortunately. I'm assuming I'm done with this book as well. So let's think about how I can use these other two books. And immediately I have an idea. Here's where I've seen the shape. Is this gonna move this gear along like it did the previous one? Yep, that's exactly what it's going to do. So, what am I going to want to have it turn? Perhaps one of these glass panes? They seem to be in roughly the right position. But no, unless I can drag one onto it, that's not going to work for me. Yeah, I clearly need to get something there for the gear to move in the first place. I'm just not sure what. So let's keep this open and available then. I'm thinking perhaps just because of all the imagery here, and the fact that this is clearly a growing plant, that this is meant to be sunlight of some sort, so where else in one of these panels is there sun? Well, here's a light source. Sadly, that doesn't look to be what I'm looking for. And that's a nope over here, and probably a nope over here as well, yeah. Of course it wasn't going to be that simple. Oh, but wait, so this is a draggable, and I've seen that symbol before. So I don't think I actually have something to do with the mountain one just yet. Let's go to the cart scene. Yeah, I saw this before. Bingo. And presumably this is going to move these around. Yep. To what end, though, is my question. What do I need from this stuff? Oh, I might have actually gotten what I needed. Okay, yeah, I think I might be good to go now. Let's go back over to the boy. Well, almost. He doesn't exactly have a way forward now, does he? So what else can I do here to actually provide him a path? Oh, hey there, subprogram. How you doing? Yeah, I'm enjoying this a lot. But I've been quite intimidated by the complexity of it, now that I'm on the search for the fourth fruit, I think that's what I'm on. There's just so many things to consider that, as I've stated before, there's no longer brute forcing really as an option. I actually have to think about things, much to my shock and horror. Okay, so clearly I need to do something to this panel. Oh, I see what I need to do. See, I'm actually thinking about things. That's good. I'm gonna need this to be on the bottom position, so that way when I zoom in, the stairs are actually right there for the boy to access. So I'm watching this panel here like a hawk. I need it to be on the bottom. I will say one thing I don't like about this stage of the game is the whole having to wait for things to be in the right position. Like, this is just busy work. Or not even busy work, just busy waiting. Now we're good. I like, though, the detail that you can actually have this be in the upside down orientation, and the boy will actually react to that. That's really good design, because it actually shows you that you're on the right track, but you're not quite there. Think about things a little bit harder. The game's been good about that in general, really, is actually hinting at what you need to do. Oh god, the world's changing once more. That means new stuff to interact with. Alright, 4 more panels. Let's actually zoom in like all the way so that way I know what I'm working with. So I'm not actually sure what I want the boy to do in this last panel. Do I want him to descend the stairs, or do I need to get something else to appear in this doorway? I'd assume I'd want him to descend, given the symbol of flowers. Oh, in fact, this actually looks like it matches up with this scene right here. Just, once again, not in the proper orientation. Unfortunately, I can no longer make use of this wagon wheel. It looks like its time is done. Ah, but now I can go back to the mountain scene, so this is what I was barking up the tree of before, trying to get it to move things. Oh, not this one, this is the desert scene. but it wasn't working out, and that's why I decided to go check out the cart scene. Now it's time for the mountain scene. I had things in the slightly wrong order. I think I'm going to want to zoom out for this, though. Yep. Oh god, I didn't keep track of which order these panels were in, though. So I guess I'm just going to drag this off and hope it's in the right position this first time. It's probably not going to be knowing this game. Yeah, which one was it that I was even looking at? This one here. Okay, nope, yep, things look to be in just the right order. Yeah, it's like when I initially got to this section, I had no idea what it was that I needed to do. But now that I'm actually making progress, things are going rather swiftly. Alright, so... no more zooming out on this panel, that's fair. Probably something I gotta do with this last panel here. Especially given the setup. So there's where the blue fruit is. Oh, okay. That's all I needed to do, fair enough. I have no idea if I just got that due to random luck, or if it was like some subconscious part of my brain saw how these panels connected, because me dragging these like this so they connected, that was not a conscious action I made. That was not something I was consciously thinking through. It was just like, yeah, I'll move them like this, and it worked out. And that's happened enough with this game that I can't help but wonder if that's just like a subconscious thing or what. Either that or I've just had really good luck with this game so far. So that's the blue fruit acquired, but what do I do now? Now I'm at kind of a loss. Falling once more. Yeah, all the audio design in this game is wonderful as well. Just the little sound effects, the ambient music. This game is a great example of why playtime matters not when considering cost in a game's purchase. Because this game, how long have I been streaming for? Hour and a half, and from what I've seen, it looks like a full playthrough is 2 to 3 hours roughly. It looks like I'm going to be on the longer end of that scale, but that's fine. But yeah, it's a 2 to 3 hour game that is, I think, 15 normally, 11 on sale, I think it was. But even though it provides so much less playtime than something like, say, Hollow Knight, for example, I would still say that's totally a fair price for this game just because of how well it's designed. And just how novel all of the puzzles are. The only real downside is the fact that due to its structure, there's really no replayability with this game. At least not that I've seen. But that's perfectly a-okay by my book just because of how, like, good that first playthrough is. It's an experience worth having. And it's something that only a video game can really provide for you. Alright, got a gold ring of nondescript origin. I never did do anything with this book over here. And it looks like I can't interact with it at all anymore, which has me curious. That actually is making me question my words of whether or not there's any replay value. Was this book over here just for a hint that I totally glossed over? Or could there have been something I could have done with it, and I just missed out on that opportunity? Like maybe doing something would have given me a hint or a little bonus animation? Don't answer that, by the way, I'm just querying for the sake of querying. Oh hey, he's old now. You know, I just had a thought. Another thing this game might be doing with the whole shuffling things around, especially what with the fact that we're seeing like all various scattered moments of this person's life. It might be doing sort of like a dementia memory loss thing. That would explain like all the sudden jarring shifts and things suddenly happening. And why doing things at one moment in this person's life affects other things. It's not literally affecting them. It's the fact that thinking about this one thing jogs this other memory from this person's life. That actually fits really well. I'll have to think about that further as I go along. And the funny thing is, I don't know why I do this, but whenever I, like, try to order my thoughts like this, I end up doing lots of hand gestures like I am right now. Even though I don't like face cams and have no interest in having one for myself, I'd be like someone who would actually make use of it, since I'd be doing more than just staring blankly into it. That's really my whole beef with the whole face cam thing, is so many people, they just stare with a glazed over look, and it's like, that's not additive to your stream or your video content, that's subtractive. It's making it actively worse. If you have a face cam, like, don't go all, like, mugging with it, but do something more than just staring into it. And that's my requisite, face camming, diatribe for the stream. Oh no, it got all shattered. Yeah, it kind of, corroborates my whole dementia thing, a shattered memory. Can I drag this on top of here? Nope. I wish I could zoom in on this, because it looks like it's actually might be fully drawn. Maybe I'll be able to do that later. Because yeah, it totally looks like text that's just too zoomed out to actually see properly. I'm curious what it says. Oh, and here we have a doorway, which I think I know what I need to do with. Oh, and I got the achievement for the 4th fruit. So, now I'm on to the last leg of the game, I guess. Well, there's probably something after getting the 5th fruit. And the old man is gone, because it's presumably him from a later stage in his life. Yep, here's what I went through before. The green fruit, the yellow fruit. I think that's what that's showing, maybe not. Well, here's directions for the purple fruit. And, yep, it's draggable. That's about what I expected. Oh boy, where'd you go? There you are. I need to find a coin somewhere to access the tram. Otherwise, is there any use I can get out of this panel? It doesn't look like it. That's been a consistent nice feature, is, for the most part, the panels that the boy has been in aren't used as puzzle pieces, per se. Like, they're the last piece in most of the puzzles. So you can usually safely ignore those panels when you're trying to figure out what you need to do. And that's good, because it reduces the overall amount of options that you might have. And thus you don't get too confused. So here we have a doorway, and here we have a window. Oh, we can zoom in. Going through the people like good old Tom. I get the feeling the game might be bringing back the panel dragging in a big way. I mean, not that it's not been doing that for the entire game, but like... yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. So, I'm probably looking for some sort of panel to connect with this one here, just because there's nothing I can actually interact with, and it just seems like that's likely what they're doing, just from what they've done previously. Maybe not, though, because I don't really see anything that could connect with it. Well, there was more to click around, so let's examine that first. Oh god, it's that bad dragon. Oh well, there's the purple fruit. At least I know where my goal is. I'll try and remember that. It's not like a draggable, is it? No. And all of that was contained in that little area, which is just a small segment of this greater area here. Oh boy. I don't know what it is about my voice, if you're being serious with that Italian comment, but no one seems to be able to place where I'm from. They always get it wrong. Oh, and if the audio ever cuts off, it's because I'm alt-tabbing to the Twitch chat. I'm playing this game in full screen because the windowed mode is ass. And that means I can't actually view the chat. And that's also why I'm responding late. Yeah, quality very much greater than quantity, absolutely. Oh, there's hidden achievements. Okay, there is replayability. I guess I'll have fun with figuring out that. Oh, okay, it was just the talking with hands joke. And yeah, the boy is kind of an anchor point in that way I described earlier. That's a good way of putting it. Okay, have some sort of piece in this hand here. I feel like that's important. I feel like I should probably be able to... No, that wouldn't work. Like, I was gonna say, like, maybe drag this out so I have another panel to work with, but I don't have an empty space, so if that is something I can do, it's not something I can do yet. Okay, well this panel here seems mostly useless. Nothing I can interact with. Nothing that's draggable. Let's zoom out on the boy panel. I assumed it wouldn't matter much, but maybe it does. I was thinking perhaps I could connect these two, but even though they are taking place in the same area, they don't have the through line. Yeah, this panel here is surprisingly uninteractable. And that has me quite suspicious. Oh, okay. See, sometimes randomly dragging things does work. I'm trying to think if there were any other coins that I've seen previously that would have hinted at me that his head would make a coin when combined with the ring. Possibly. Alright, well, the boy's on his way. Oh no, another timing thing it looks like. So yeah, just go in a row now. Can I reorient these at all? Not directly. Okay, I'm gonna have to figure out how to change the tracks to get him on his way. So clearly I need to get down to this area. So I'm gonna want to shift... I guess this to the right maybe? And then this way? I'll play around with it once I actually figure out how to do that. First, though, I actually have to figure out how to move these bits of track. Oh, you know what? That's probably what this panel is for. Maybe because, yeah, look at that. It matches up 1-to-1 in terms of shape and size with the tracks. But that is a red one, so maybe not there. So where else have I seen track-like shapes? Let's go searching for that. Got one right here. Oh, in fact... No, that still doesn't work, because, like, none of these... This screen, at least, isn't actually draggable. I can't drag it on top of something and have that show through. Let's explore more around here. Maybe something in one of the other panels changed somehow. So that's clearly my end goal. Here we have the two track shapes that I can't seem to do anything with just yet. I think this doorway is also going to be used in the future to get the boy moving along. Here's what I'm looking for. Alright, so where does that place things now? Okay, moving... Oh, is that all I had to do? Okay. There's gotta be more, right? Because I have to be making use of those other shapes, surely. Did I screw up? Did he arrive at his destination? Hey, he did. Nice. So I guess those other track pieces were either red herrings, something involved with those bonus achievements you mentioned, or they're just there to sort of get you along that line of thinking. Alright, well, here the boy is now. Distraught as always, because he's just kind of being led by fate. That's an interesting way to think of the wall. Oh, now who is this? This seems to be a different person. But if my theories are correct, everyone I'm seeing would have to be the same person in different stages throughout their life. Maybe them when they were younger? Or it could be someone that they remember. That's a possibility. Oh, I see. So am I guiding his movements now? Because, like, with that hand, or... Did I just basically do nothing there because it was the wrong thing? It might have been the wrong thing. So let's think about this a bit better. I mean... Okay, yeah, because he did walk off to the right, so now this should make him move through that doorway. Of course, it's, a bit small for him, admittedly. He's not mouse-sized. Yeah, that's a good point. People with dementia, it's the oldest memories that are the most long-lasting and vibrant in their minds. And then, yeah, the boy acting as the anchor point. And yes, this game is quite pretty. Like, for that alone, this game is worth the price of admission. If you have the spare cash, I definitely recommend picking it up and playing it on your own if you haven't. or just picking it up to support the developer. I really gotta end up playing Edith Finch. I think it's a different developer, but like the same publishing company. Maybe it's the same devs, I don't know, but I've heard a lot of good things about that. Anyway. Okay, so maybe I will make more use of this. Not just yet. But I have an idea of what I'm going to be doing in the future, I think. So that's why this panel still exists. I was curious about that. Otherwise, though, it doesn't seem to serve a purpose just yet, so clearly I need that other thought panel. What else can I do here? It looks like the only things I can zoom in on are the 3 directions, so let's think about where I want the boy to move. Let's try moving him back over to the left. I don't have any specific ideas. It's just something I want to try. So yep, here he is despondent. Maybe I need to do something over with this panel first. I already used this for the railroad puzzle, so I assume it wouldn't have a further use, but... yeah, because it wouldn't connect up with any of these rails, being a different color and all. So I don't think I need this screen. Let's get him to move back over to the right and see if I can examine anything over there. For some reason it doesn't actually let me follow him when he does that. Okay. I think I need to effect some sort of change here so he can move on, but I don't know how to do that. So what happened when I did give him the direction to move forward? He was just kind of nonplussed, wasn't he? Yeah, because can't move forward, he's not a mouse. Okay, so I clearly have to do something in advance. Yep, that's what I was thinking of, that maybe zooming in here would be what I would need to do. Okay, so this, I'm not done with this just yet. So here we have a yellow thread. I'm clearly going to need to connect that somewhere. Oh, and that's where. And now the directions make sense. Now he's thinking of scissors. And we have directions once more. And once again, that seems to be the only thing to do here. I probably shouldn't have zoomed in, I just realized, because I haven't actually done anything. Let's try getting him to move left, though, and see what that does. Alright, nothing off in that direction. Oh, wait, I see. Yep. I noticed that these connected because of the maze-like patterns in the walls. Can I just say again how absolutely amazing the visual design in this game is? So many times, I was able to figure out the solution just because of how things... because of the excellent visual design, making it easier to match up the disparate panels, just based off of similar imagery. That's just such a cool design thing. Alright, well, now I get him to where I needed him to go. Perfect. So is he like really tiny now in that area? Yes, he is. That is adorable. Well, I already figured out the solution here, so this should be easy enough. Or at least I thought I did. Can I get him to move once more? I might need to do that. Yeah, get him over to the yellow area. Oh, here we have another one of these draggable panels. Okay. Ooh, I really like these composite pictures here. The horse into the tree into the soldiers, and then the mermaid river lady. That's actually some really cool artwork. I like that. Alright, so it looks like once again these are various directions I can give. So let's do what I was thinking and give him the direction to go to the right. Oh, not good? Okay. Maybe I need to get him on the ladder then. One thing I will say I'm not a fan of is the lag time with some of these panel transitions. Okay, so this time let's get him to move to the north. Up the ladder. I'll admit I'm impressed by his carrying ability. I wouldn't be able to carry a bowl filled with food up a ladder, not if my life depended on it. Huh. These aren't matching up quite how, like, they should. Ah, shit, he's gonna go back down, isn't he? Crap. Like... Wait, if I do it like... Oh, that's how it... Okay. And that way he would climb back down to this area. Okay, I see what I need to do. I just gotta do that again. I messed up the order of operations. So let's get this in the right position before I go after him. You know, another great thing about a game being this short but this well designed is that even if it uses the same mechanics over and over, it keeps using them in more and more novel ways. And that's really great as well. Hey, there we go. Got him big again. Oh hey, and I can actually see his face. I didn't even think he had a face for most of this time, outside of like the beard when he's older. And there's the final fruit. Dream logic done perfectly, that's another good way of putting it. Also, if you assume that the dragon is meant to be representative of dementia if we're going that route, it wouldn't be the first time I've heard of dragon be referred to as like a health issue. The game That Dragon Cancer, for example, being the obvious. Oh, I can't zoom in on here? I thought that's what I needed to do. There we go. I actually have to make him think the proper thought. And that's the fifth fruit. Also, the game is quite loud now. Oh hey, here's the falling scene from earlier. I guess I now have more context for that. I was gonna say proper context, but I don't think any context in this game is sensible. Alright. Oh, and that's how he ended up with the damaged legs. Or at least that's how he's visualizing it in his memories. And here he is, old, with the cane, as I've seen before. The visual connections that the game just keeps making are wonderful. I'm not quite sure what it wants me to do here. Oh, of course it's dragon. I guess I need to do these in the right order or something. Yep, there he is with the crutches trying to make ends meet. Given the whole destroyed city visual imagery, I wonder if this might also meant to be like taking place after a war sort of thing, like he was in a bombed out area or something. Here he is, older, doing research. I guess he only needed the cane at this point. Once again, in another stage of his life. And here, when he was an old man. Or when he is an old man. If I'm going with the whole dementia thing, that's probably his current state. I'm not sure what it is I'm supposed to be doing here. I don't seem to have any other way of interacting once I'm further in. These are the only things I can click on. Oh, I can drag it further, of course. I always have to remember that if I'm at a loss, I can probably go one level deeper with this game. Oh, that's not great, that blood. The blood fruit. Oh, wait, I see. I wonder if I can screw this up, because I got the fruits in a certain order. Let me actually look at the achievements I got, because I think they're in color. Okay, the first fruit was, in fact, the red fruit. So, I was thinking perhaps maybe it would be possible to do these in a wrong order and get a bad end or something, but it looks like that's not the case. I can only do them in the proper positions. There's the fruit. That's 2 down. So I guess this is the gameplay encouragement for going through the stages of his life. Actually making you an active participant. Like, you know, doing gameplay rather than just viewing it visually. Which it easily could have done instead. It could have just made this like a glorified cutscene, but they actually went through the effort of making this gameplay as well, and why isn't this working? I mean, that's not a fruit, yeah, but I can't seem to click anywhere else. I guess this part is more complicated than I thought. Unless this is what I needed to do. Because, yeah, no, this is just the state it was in before. Oh, wait. Do I want to change the position? No, that doesn't change anything. Ah, I can zoom out here. Okay, already we're getting more complicated with these. Good, good. Starting out simple and then ratcheting up the difficulty, much like the game itself did with each of the fruits. So, yeah. As always, I want to get the moth attracted to the light. So that way, at least, even if you don't know from the start that a moth would be attracted to the light, once you figure that out, the game keeps using that logic. So that way, from then on, you do know what to do. That's 3 done. Alright, looks like I'm gonna have to turn this one. Somehow. These are the only 2 things I can actually click on. Looks like I might be able to drag, yep, this somewhere else. So I wonder if he ever actually did make a journey through the desert, a pilgrimage, or if he's just supposed to be a religious person and this is how he sees it in his mind. So does this, like, cause them to move? Hey, there we go. See, once again, bringing back the previous visual mechanics so that once you've actually figured out a thing, you don't have to do it anymore. Oh, damn it, I was too late. Too slow, rather. Now I have to wait for it to go again. Oh god, am I gonna have to wait for this to do a full pass? I think I'm gonna have to wait for it to do a full pass. Yeah, the timing stuff in this game, probably the single worst thing just because of moments like this. I wasn't quick enough on the draw to stop the movement. Oh yeah, that's actually a detail I didn't quite notice because it's just so subtle. The music is actually building up to a crescendo, perhaps. Okay, now let's... No, shit, that's not what I want to... Get this off, there we go. Just in the nick of time. I really don't like that, because that's a moment of stress in an otherwise stressless game, but there we go. Now how do I... Because I want to zoom out here so I can get the food in the proper position, but it's not actually letting me zoom here. Do I actually have to try and get it while it's moving or something? Like, what's going on? Okay, well, I got it. Once again, not a fan of the whole timing aspect, but it is what it is. Yeah, that's a funky miasma over there. Not terribly pleasant, that. Ah, here we have the bedroom scene again. I like how this bit of imagery that I used in a previous puzzle comes back for a future one. If I had paid attention, I probably could have predicted I would have used it in some fashion. Oh, there's the food. And that's all 5 fruits, so... The morning sun rises. I vanquish the horrible night. And that's Gorogoa, I guess. Unless there's something after this, but this feels like credits. Yep. A game by Jason Roberts. Signed, designed by Edward... Okay, they're going too quickly for me to read. This guy right here, he does not deserve special thanks. He may make good games, but he's kind of a chode. So I can just zoom through these, so I guess that's what I'll do. Actually, I'll let them play at their own pace while I talk about the game. It's very good. Very, very, very good. The puzzle design is wonderful. It's very varied with the actions you do, but it has the actions, your verb set be very simple. You basically just drag panels around. And within that, there's the slightly more advanced mechanics of dragging one panel onto another, or dragging one panel around to get a different view within that scene. But at the end of the day, you're still just clicking and dragging. It keeps things simple while at the same time using them for more complex puzzles. And it looks like we're just back at the start here. Ooh, you can actually go to any point in the game. I like that. Let's go back to this though, just so we have some ambient audio. Yeah, the puzzle design was very good. The visual design is amazing, and like, even if the puzzles in this game weren't all that great, I still think it might be worth paying for and playing just for the sheer visual design. Like, the artwork is gorgeous, and it touches on so many themes. The whole dementia thing I brought up a few times that seems pretty like a reasonable read of the game, to me at least, from what I've seen. The various religious imagery, the dragon, of course, being a very Eastern-style dragon, with, then the more Christian apparent imagery with the stained glass windows. That's a very Catholic thing. And the crossing the desert like Jesus did on a pilgrimage, or like the three wise men, that was very prevalent. And then just that intermixed with like this dude's life progressing is just really wonderfully handled. And if you wanted to do like an in-depth discussion of like imagery in a video game, this is probably one you'd want to choose. Like, this is like, I think, like a lot of times imagery in video games is just used as kind of like pop imagery, just because like it ticks certain bells in people's heads and it's like it looks cool or whatever. But this is a game that actually uses its imagery to espouse themes like an actual like piece of art, but it still does so while being a video game, forcing you to interact and solve puzzles in a way that kind of only a video game can do. I guess you could like have this theoretically be as like a picture book sort of thing, but that would get so complicated so quickly as to be unfeasible for any sort of sellable product. But within the video game medium, this sort of thing actually works out really well. Like, if you wanted to point at a video game as art, this is like would be number one on my list at the moment, I think. And I feel like if I continue rambling on too much further, I'm just gonna sound like a raving lunatic, because I'm so bad at ordering my thoughts. So I'm just gonna check out on the chat one last time and then end things off. So let's see. Oh, you thought I had a glitch at some point? Nope, that turned out fine, fortunately. Yeah, the last bit is rather messy. The ending is that he became the dragon in the end. He was drawn to... Yeah, he was dragged towards the dragon because he was the dragon. Also, you notice how the bowl and fruit picture was held up by both the young boy. Oh, yep, that was good. You think it had to be set up that way, not just as the young boy, but he had to resummon the fruit in his age as well. Yeah, I agree with all those assessments. Oh god, is that... Like, I think I made a joke about dragon things at one point, before you joined the stream. But, I didn't realize that the game might have actually been doing that on purpose. And now I'm kind of angry at the game. A cool, furious anger, but anger nonetheless, because that is a really bad pun. I can make bad puns. You don't get to, video game. But yeah, no, that was a really great experience and absolutely worth the price. This is the kind of thing that, like, this is the kind of experience that, as I said before, only a video game can actually offer. And I think with that, I'll leave this stream off here. So thanks for showing up, anyone who did. I hope you enjoyed. I did even more so than usual because of the excellent subject matter. I'm definitely looking forward to any future games from this developer, and as I said before, I really do need to go and check out Edith Finch at some point. Maybe I'll pick it up in the sale. Anyway, see ya.